What's up, everybody? It's Michael. Today on the Freelance Capitalist channel, we're talking about distinction between freelance economy and gig economy. And these are two different kind of economies, even though they're used interchangeably and often are confused by people. We will go over 5 ways to avoid gig economy and enter the freelance economy. Let me quickly define what's the difference. When we speak of the gig economy, we typically speak of Uber drivers, TaskRabbits, unskilled workers that do unskilled work. Run to the grocery, bring something from the store, even some semi-skilled work like driving a car, doing some gardening work, cleaning the house, painting the house, or doing some household chores. Those are not difficult to do. Pretty much anyone can do them. They don't require any special training and often are low pay, and that's primarily the reason why we want to avoid gig economy. Another issue with gig economy, it's the race to the bottom, because anyone can do that. There's always a person willing to do it cheaper. So, freelance economy, what a freelancer is. Freelancer is usually a skilled, highly skilled, preferably, worker that can perform a specific task, like a designer, landscape architect, or a web developer. It requires training and skill, and it mandates higher rates, can compete on experience, niche, skill overall, and obviously you can charge higher rate. The point of this video is to help newcomers into this freelance market avoid the gig economy. And biggest mistake technical guys make, they don't see the gig element in the technical world, because it's very easy to say, oh, Uber driver is the gig lancer, or the guy who goes to the store does the gig, or tasks that you pick up from TaskRabbit. However, a lot of internet work can fall into gig economy. All right, let's talk about this. Number 1, if you are entering freelance world, consider freelance as a business and don't look at it as a side hustle. That's number 1 issue that gig workers face, is they treat it as a side hustle, so they never take time to learn a skill, they never take time to improve their overall experience, commit time, invest time and energy and money into improving yourself so you can charge higher rate. So avoid the side hustling. Either take it full-time. If you cannot do it full-time, aim to go full-time. So spend more time on the weekend, spend more time after work to work on your skill set. Number 2, it's very unspecialized. The gig economy is kind of generic. You list your profile in one of those gig sites and you can do everything. You can run errands, paint a house, plant a tree, walk a dog. You basically do everything. And that's what straight puts you into gig economy. If you want to do something as a freelancer, specialize. For example, if you want to work with pets, specialize in walking dogs and physically exercising them, not just doing a regular dog sitting work that anyone can do, but learn about dog exercises, what you can do to improve their activity, to improve their mobility. If you do design, don't just design anything. Don't go for brochure design, ad design, logo design. Specialize, do branding, do consultant. Talk about yourself not as the designer who does what client asks, but be a branding. I help you develop your color palette, for example. So specialty skill is important, and that's what will separate you from a gig worker into freelancer and eventually consultant or specialist. At the end of this journey, you want to become specialist and you want to become a consultant more than a laborer. More on that later. And avoid platforms that do TaskRabbit activity, i.e. talk about TaskRabbit a lot in this video, but it's probably like the worst way to start your freelancing is doing generic, unskilled work. Don't even register on those platforms because the temptation will be so high, especially if you're broke, and you will be wasting time instead of learning new skill, instead of looking for clients in your area of work. You'll be running errands, sitting with someone's pet, or doing low-level gardening. If you want to become a designer, look for design work. Okay, it could be generic work at first, but it has to be in your specific area. Okay, number 4, educate yourself. That's probably the most important distinction between gig worker and freelancer. Freelancer has experience and expertise. You might not have the experience, but you can have expertise. You can work, you can learn new things, you can learn new skills, and try to learn within your vertical. Don't go horizontal. Let's say you are a web developer and you develop very beautiful websites. Don't go learning how to do back-end work like PHP and server administration, databases, AI. If you do beautiful websites, learn design, learn front-end framework like Vue or React or Angular. Spend more time learning about UX. Consider taking a course on user experience psychology. The point is, go in your vertical, don't go horizontal. Don't expand wide, expand tall. And number 5 is target your potential clients narrow. If you work with landscapers as a designer, target landscapers. Don't just work with local businesses. Don't just work with anyone. And the reason why this is important, because you might be specialist. You might be specialist in your field. You do web design, for example, or you do content writing. If you generalize by category, by industry, you will have hard time positioning yourself to dictate premium rates. If you only work with landscapers, then you can target landscapers and say, I have the most experience in your industry. I can provide very on-point consultation. I can do things that generalists can't. And there's plenty of resources on YouTube. There's plenty of resources online, how to be specialists. In this video, I'm not going to go deep into that. Find your niche and don't make it too narrow. You want to have narrow, but you want to have wide enough where you will not struggle to find clients. Let's recap. First, don't be a side hustler. Side hustler is a sure path into gig worker, and side hustler could be driving Uber in the weekend. Yeah, you might enjoy it, but it will never turn into full-time income. Try to get to full-time as soon as possible. The sooner you get to full-time, the sooner you can become specialist. Hone your special skills. That means go for very specific industry, and as I said earlier, very specific audience. Specialize. Avoid being TaskRabbit. Don't just run errands. Just don't even get tempted by this. You will regret it, and you will get sucked into this gig economy. Educate yourself. Once you specialize, you need to learn as much as possible in that special. Target narrow. Target your specific industry, want to work with, and people you feel you can help the most. For example, if you do web development, don't just develop for anyone, but specialize in SaaS websites, software service websites, or specialize in lawyers or dentists. If you target narrow, you can specialize, you can dictate premium rates, and you can become an expert. All right, that's it. All right, I'll see you in a week. Subscribe, like, whatever, where those buttons are. Bye.